Picture this. You're pregnant in the middle of an ice age winter. No hospital, no sterile room, no one on call if something goes wrong. Outside, the wind is stripping heat off your skin in seconds. Inside, if you're lucky, you've got fire, animal hides, and a handful of people who may or may not know what they're doing. Most history classes skip this entirely. They jump from cavemen used tools to civilization began. They never stop to ask the question that should terrify you. How did any of your ancestors actually survive giving birth when the world was trying to kill them at the same time? Because here's the truth nobody puts on a textbook cover: human childbirth is already one of the hardest births on Earth. Add freezing nights, hunger, infection, and miles of open steppe, and survival wasn't normal. It was a system your species built in blood. To understand Ice Age birth, you have to understand the trap evolution locked us in. When our ancestors stood upright, the pelvis got narrower. When brains got bigger, babies' heads got wider. You're looking at a species that literally walks a tightrope every labor, push a large head through a small opening, or die trying. Archaeologists have found ancient skeletons that tell that story in bone. Breech births, babies stuck sideways, mothers buried with infants still in the birth canal, rare but real. Each one is a reminder, this was never easy. And in the Ice Age, the clock didn't pause for pain. Cold raises the stakes. Blood loss is harder to recover from when you're malnourished. Infection doesn't wait for antibiotics. If labor runs long, exhaustion becomes its own predator, and outside the firelight, actual predators were listening. So no ancient humans didn't just have babies in caves and move on. Survival meant strategy. Here's the first piece of the system that doesn't fit the lone caveman cartoon. Almost everywhere we look, humans gave birth with help. Not because they were weak, because unassisted birth is insanely risky for a species with our head-to-pelvis problem. Elder women, sisters, partners, whoever had seen births before, were the difference between repositioning a shoulder and watching two lives end on the dirt. Think of it as the oldest profession that never needed a name. Someone who has done this before, holding your weight when your legs shake. Foragers today still show the pattern. Birth is a social event, not a private one. In the Ice Age, that likely meant hands on your back, someone heating water or snow to warm, someone ready to catch the baby and cut the cord with a sharpened flake of stone or tooth, then get that infant onto skin immediately, because hypothermia kills newborns faster than you want to imagine. Squatting or kneeling, not lying flat on a hospital bed that didn't exist. Gravity working with the body, not against it. That's not soft. That's engineering built from repetition over thousands of generations. Second piece of the system: heat and calories. A pregnant Ice Age woman wasn't eating for two in the cute modern sense. She was fighting to keep enough fat and protein on her body to grow a brain-heavy fetus, while everyone else was also starving through winter. Bone studies on Neanderthals and early Homo sapiens show how hard that was. Stress lines in teeth, seasons when growth slowed, when food crashed. Pregnancy was a gamble stacked against you. Fire wasn't comfort. It was neonatal ICU, the only thing keeping a wet newborn from becoming a small, still lump in minutes. Hides, fur, shared body heat, the whole camp was sometimes the incubator. And after birth, the danger didn't stop. Bleeding, fever, no way to suture cleanly. A mother who couldn't walk meant a group that had to carry her, or slow down, and slow groups in winter starved. So the brutal math: many births worked, many didn't. Infant loss was common enough that every surviving lineage you carry is a stacked miracle. Maternal death wasn't the everyday killer pop culture claims for every era, but on the step, in a bad year, one bad labor could erase a family line. Let's say the word in the title out loud: brutal. Not because ancient people were cruel, because nature was. Labor could last all day and into a frozen night. No epidural, no surgery if the baby wouldn't turn. Pain management was willpower, herbs someone trusted, and the grip of another human's hand until the skin whitened. If the child lived, but the mother didn't, the baby still needed milk wet nursing, aunties, grandmothers stepping in. That's cooperative breeding. Humans raise children as a network, not a nuclear family photo. We see it in hunter-gatherer camps today. Multiple women feeding, holding, watching an infant so the mother can sleep for the first time in days. In the Ice Age, that network wasn't heartwarming. It was how the species didn't blink out. And for Neanderthals, our cousins in the cold research on their pelvis and newborn skulls suggests birth was about as tight a fit as ours. Some scientists even argue pregnancy complications may have hit them harder in small, scattered groups. Whether or not that's the full extinction story, the lesson holds. Childbirth in the cold was a population filter. You exist because enough women lived through it, enough helpers showed up, enough babies got warm fast enough. So how did ancient humans actually survive childbirth in the Ice Age? Not through one trick, through a bundle of them. Assisted labor, squatting birth, immediate warmth, Stone Age cord care, breastfeeding on demand, and a circle of people who treated a birth like group survival because it was. The weird detail isn't that they were primitive, it's that they were running a high-risk operation with no backup plan, and still raised children who would learn to sew needles through hide, preserve meat, and remember which mushroom kills you. That's why your body is shaped the way it is, why human babies are helpless for so long, why we need each other at our most vulnerable. Childbirth didn't happen in the margins of prehistory. It was the center of whether tomorrow existed. Next time you hear Ice Age survival, don't only picture spears and mammoths. Picture a woman in the firelight, surrounded by faces she trusts, doing the most dangerous thing a human can do and walking away with a living child. That's the real Ice Age. If you were giving birth with zero modern medicine, in 20 degrees Celsius weather, what would scare you more? The labor itself, or the first night after? Drop it in the comments. If this changed how you see your ancestors, subscribe, because we're not done with what happened before civilization.